Say something about your accommodation and food while you were there in Uganda.
The first thing that strikes me about the accommodation really was that it was a real family environment. I felt very welcomed, and there was a great deal of hospitality that went along with my visit as well. The house that Pastor Grace and that live in is a very modest home. It's, like I mentioned, a couple of 100 metres away from where the children live. It's quite in a rural sort of setting. Things are quite basic in terms of the accommodation. It's not what we would expect in the Western world. So you've just got your, there's no toilet indoors, the toilet's outdoors, no hot showers, just a cold water tap. In terms of cooking, we had a gas cooker that we would use that was supplied by AKF. Otherwise, Pastor Grace and his family would cook using a charcoal stove. My bedroom, I have to say, was lovely. I had my own bedroom, so I had my own personal quarters. I had my own bed with a mattress. I had my mosquito net as well. I was very well taken care of. There's electricity, so I could, plug into my laptop, charge my mobile phone as well. Could play music as well on the laptop as well, which was really nice for the family. Could share that with them as well. There was, being a pastor's home, there's a constant flow of people in and out of the home, which was lovely though, because you really got to meet the local people. Living with them, you got to understand their challenges that they face on a daily basis that we take for granted. It was just a really nice atmosphere. In the morning, we'd get up and we'd pray as a family, and then in the evening we'd have meals together, all, I guess, as a family as well, and then we'd also pray before we go to bed. The food was again another experience that definitely sticks in my mind. Being with the family, living with them 24/7, I got to see and eat and experience the local food as well.
Did you go out much into Kampala? Did you see much of Uganda, the rest of Uganda when you were there?
Yeah, during my time as well, I was able to take some time out. I was able to visit a town called Jinja, which is a couple of hours drive east of the capital city, Kampala.
That's the source of the Nile River there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the source of the Nile River. There's lots of outdoor activities. It's quite a popular tourist destination. It's got some really nice cafes as well. And it's just a nice break to get out of the hustle and bustle of Kampala, and it was a really nice break as well. Just kept you, or I guess just was a refreshing break as well.
What's downtown Kampala like as far as food, hospitality, safety?
In terms of Kampala as a city, it's quite a developed city for an eastern city in Africa. It's quite a busy, at times chaotic town, but it's got all your I guess services that you'd expect to find in a capital city. So there's internet cafes, there's cafes for Westerners, there's banks, there's ATM machines. You'll be able to find, cinemas and what else do they have?
You can buy a Mac there, so it must be pretty good.
Oh yeah, they're actually quite up with their technology as well. So you can,
And diversity of restaurants?
Yeah, there's quite a diversity of restaurants actually. You get your Chinese, you've got your Indian, you've got your Turkish, your Lebanese, you've sort of got your standard American burgers and that type of stuff. So they really cater for a wide variety of people from all different countries and cultures.
What do you love about the kids in the orphanage?
What did I love about the kids in the orphanage? I love their energy, I love their resilience, I loved their smiles, I loved the sense of adventure that they have. I love the fact that they were just so eager and hungry just to hear about another culture, another country. They were quite inquisitive. I love their singing and their dancing. I just love the fact that through all of their hardships and all the difficult times that, they just pressed on, and what was just so evident was just their hunger and desire just to hear God, and for God to move in their lives, and they were just so dependent on Him. Yeah.
What was the highlight of your visit to Uganda and the development of the orphanage?
One of the highlights that sticks out for me was when we had secured the home for the orphans, and we'd secured the funding from AKF, and we'd actually purchased the basic essentials such as the bunk beds and the mattresses, the mosquito nets, pillows and bedding, and actually bringing them into the compound, taking them off the actual truck, moving them into the home. It was just a real team effort. We had the kids, we had Pastor Grace, we had other people in the community in his church that came to help, and then actually saying to the children once everything was all set up and making the beds for them. And I think this went on right through till about 10, 11 o'clock at night, and then actually saying to each child, okay, now this is your bed, Tracy, this is where you can sleep, Hadija, this is where your bed is. And the kids actually not realising that they had a mattress each. They would actually, 3 of them would actually run and just fall onto like one mattress, thinking that they had to share a mattress between 3, not realising that they're actually going to get their own individual mattress. And I didn't quite know what was happening, and Pastor Grace actually sort of had to bring it to my attention that this is why the kids are actually doing what they're doing, and just seeing the joy and the happiness on their faces, knowing that they were going to have a pillow all to themselves, or that they were getting a mosquito net, or that they were going to get a blanket that was just going to be theirs, that didn't have to be shared. That was just a real special moment for me, because it was also still quite early on in the project too.
Towels and their own little face washer.
Oh, well, the towels, I think that was just quite a new experience for them. They didn't quite know what to do with the towels, so I kind of had to explain to them, this is your towel, this is not to be shared, you don't need to, you know, be sharing it with anybody else, it's just yours. And then with the face cloth, that was an interesting story how that all came about, but they're actually sharing like a sponge that they would share between about 15 of them, and so I physically went out to the local marketplace and had to bargain to get face cloths for 15 of them, or 20 at the time. And then I had to explain to them, this is a face cloth, or this is something to wash your whole entire body with, but it's not to be shared, it's actually yours, and to explain to them the reasons why, you know, they shouldn't share it as well. So it was a bit of, I think, things that we just take for granted over here in the West. We just don't realise just how fortunate we are just to have our own towel and just to have our own